nice dices, just ensure it's regular. And approximately 420 grams altogether. So, I let you dice your sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are very interesting in this recipe because we're playing with lots of flavors, with the spice, with the combination of the leafy greens and the tomatoes and the sourness of the lemon we're going to add on later on. So they're going to bring some sweetness, obviously, which is something we're looking for in the recipe. And they're also interesting from a nutritional standpoint, where they're mostly carbohydrates, okay? Not much proteins, but they're very rich in beta-carotene, obviously, when you look at those beauties. Lots of antioxidants in them. And also, they have resistant starch, which is super good since it's proven it improves your good gut bacteria, right? So they are very nice from both a flavor point of view and also a nutritional point of view, okay? So you must be dicing them right now. I'm just going to rinse mine. I had done a bit before, and I kept them so they don't turn brownish in a bit of water and lemon, okay? To avoid the brownish thing. So just rinsing them. Okay. And going back to my onions, I'm just going to show you how it looks like. I hope you can see inside. Okay, so they are not totally done, but more or less, I guess we can start to add something else. And you see, I was quick because it's super heavy, but they are actually not brownish at all, okay? So my fire, because it's a big one, is actually quite low. Once again, you don't want them to turn brownish. So at this stage, it's okay to add my garlic, okay? So you 2-3 cloves of garlic. I have a little visitor coming. If you want to say hello, you can. Then, yeah, hi. Okay, nobody there. There's no intruder in my kitchen, but just wanted to say hi, maybe to her cousin who might be online. Okay. Okay. She's super shy, worse than me. Okay, so I've added my garlic. I'm also adding at this stage the ginger. Okay, she's dancing in the living room in front of me. Okay, very interesting. I think she's trying to distract me. She's funny. Anyway, okay, I know you too. Sorry. That's the joy of everyone staying at home, okay? Your kitchen doesn't belong to you totally anymore. So I've added my garlic, my ginger, and I'm adding now my spices, okay? So you had prepared them. Hello. I had prepared them just like you did a bit before. And we're gonna stir it to coat the ginger, the onion, and the garlic for like 1 minute. We keep it on like the medium, like low medium, okay, depending on your fire. But you should start to smell like the cinnamon, the garlic, and the cumin, because we put quite a bit. So it should be flavorful, but it shouldn't be too strong and too powerful under your pan, okay? Otherwise it's gonna, in the end you will feel it a little, okay? So don't be too quick anyway. You've got time, right? We're staying home. So I'm putting it for 1 minute, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my sweet potatoes. So the sweet potatoes, you're going to add them now because you just want to roast them a little bit and to coat them with the spices. So we're going to do that for like 3 minutes or so, and after we will add the rest of the ingredients, and that'll be all. I told you it was super easy, right? So important to stir at this stage because you want to coat your sweet potatoes. I'm going to show you again. Okay, so you've got your spices. The turmeric is giving a very nice yellowish hue, and you can really smell it normally, right? The combination of flavors, and we're coating for 3 minutes before we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. So what are the rest of the ingredients? Okay, you have the list. So basically, you have the chickpeas, okay? So 240 grams, which is approximately what you will have if you buy canned ones. That's the reason why, okay, I put this quantity because I'm pretty sure most of you are using canned ones. We're going to talk about it a little later. If you cook them, that's even better, but if you're like using canned ones, it's fine. So we're using the equivalent of 1 can, drained, rinsed very well if it's from a can. Okay, we're gonna add after also our tomato diced. So I will talk also about the tomato, but this is very important to choose the right ones. We will add our vegetable stock. So you need 400 milliliters of vegetable stock, 400 milliliters, okay. And we will add our salt, 1 teaspoon. I'm using the Himalayan one, so not sea salt, but Himalayan one. It's a bit less salty. I'm using 1 teaspoon, so you know, you can put a little bit less and adjust after because this is something very personal. And we'll also add our raisin. If you didn't find raisin, you can actually, or if you don't like it, you can use dried apricots. You could also omit them, but again, it will work very well in this recipe because you want to get this sweet and sour. You will get it partly from the sweet potatoes, but definitely this works very well to enhance the flavors, okay? So that's the thing we're gonna add, like almost now, I guess. So I let you prepare it, but you should have your stock 400 milliliters, your can of diced tomatoes, which I'm sure you already had prepared, your chickpeas, and we'll talk about them a bit later, your 40 grams of raisin or dried fruits, whatever you like and you found, and 1 teaspoon of sea salt, or a bit less, and then you adjust, okay? So my pan looks like that, okay, okay. So my sweet potatoes are very well coated in my spices, and I'm just going to simply pour the rest of my ingredients. Definitely super easy, right? So my chickpeas, okay, I'm going to add the tomatoes, okay. So actually I couldn't find the one I buy usually, so I bought those cherry organic ones, which look very nice. I think it will be even sweeter than when I do it, because cherry tomatoes are definitely sweeter. But actually talking about the tomatoes and the quality of the tomatoes that you're using, this is super important because you want them ideally to be organic. Also using a BPA can would be really good, but in any case, like nothing added and just water and even a bit of salt, which is the case in this one, right? Organic small tomatoes, organic tomato juice. Okay, nothing else added. If you could find some Marzano tomatoes, in Singapore right now, so difficult. Oh, how much raisins? Okay, Hinano, it's 40 grams. I think you said okay now. Okay, 40 grams of raisins, yeah? So if you could find some Marzano, I really encourage you, because some Marzano are really the best. And whenever you're making a tomato sauce, you should go for that quality of tomatoes. They're a bit more expensive and harder to find, but then you will not find any acidity in your like sauce or in your stew or whatever. But those ones should be fine and nice, and really check the labels of what you're buying and ensure that nothing added in there, and ideally BPA free, okay? Cans. So I've added them. I'm adding my raisins, okay? And I'm gonna add the stock. So same for the stock. So you have time right now, so maybe, just kidding, you prepare the stock at home. That's not so difficult though. I didn't actually, but I'm sure you have bought it. So just, if you bought it, just ideally again, organic and low sodium and no MSG of course. So that would be the things. So if you cannot find your usual ones, just make sure you really check the labels of whatever you're buying. And even if it's organic, actually, you can have MSG inside. I've had the issue a few times already. So just check on that one. So 400 milliliters, okay, and then you add your salt. Okay. Okay. So now you can increase a little the fire under your pan, because you want to bring it to a little simmer, a gentle simmer. So it's gonna start like, you know, bubbling, but very gently, okay? And when it gets to that point, reduce a little bit and then put back the lid on, okay? And then that will be it for the next like 15 minutes. So as I said before, this is a super easy recipe, so I hope you'll enjoy making it again because it's so easy. Yeah, you just need to stir it from time to time to ensure that, you know, you have the proper level of you know, water in there, liquid in there, I would say, and that nothing is sticking. That shouldn't be the case. And actually, at some point, if you feel you want a thicker stew or more like a soup, you could increase a little bit the liquid. That's really more your choice in the end, right? I prefer it a bit thicker, but if you want it a bit more like a soup, just feel free to add a bit more stock or a bit more water if you don't want to add any stock, okay? So, yeah, we're almost done with that, okay? Just showing you a bit warm now. Just showing you, okay, that's my things are covered, okay, well, because I'm leaning towards, you cannot see, but it should be like all your potatoes should be nicely just at the top of the liquid, okay, and they should be just floating in there, and they're gonna cook gently once you reach the simmering point, okay? Just put the lid back on. So I put the lid on, and we are gonna spend the next minutes preparing what we'll need to finish the recipe, which are just a few ingredients. Just before that, I mentioned I was going to talk about the chickpeas. Just one thing about them. As you have plenty of time, I'd really encourage you to cook your chickpeas. This is super easy. You just, you know, need to buy the dry ones, make a big bulk, you know, you just put them soaking in water for up to 48 hours in your fridge. You rinse it regularly, like a few times if you keep it for 48 hours. Then you just cook it for like 45 minutes to an hour in boiling water. You add some kombu in the water, which could help those of you that don't digest it so well. This is a trick that definitely works. It helps, like, it has an enzyme, the kombu, that helps like pre-digesting those things you cannot. Yes, I put the chickpeas, Juliette, already. Yes, I put everything except the green leaves and the lemon. Yeah. Oh, somebody's asking what dish is it? It's Moroccan stew with chickpeas and with some leafy greens and sweet potatoes. Yeah, so I was just saying, really, for your chickpeas, you have time right now. Make a big batch from dried ones, and then you can use it in so many recipes. I do have a few on my blog, sweet ones, savory ones, from falafel to smoothies to, you know, lots of things very interesting. They are so rich in proteins. If you're following more like a vegan diet, like 11 grams or so per 100 grams, it's very good and rich in fiber. So try not to buy the ones from the cans. And if you do buy the cans, again, BPA free, organic, low sodium, like the tomatoes, okay? How long for the cooking? Okay, so good question. It's in there, so we're gonna leave it for like 15 to 20 minutes. So as you'll notice, it will be after the video is finished. But anyway, I will guide you through the end of the recipe, and I will explain to you what to do for the rest. I told you, you know, to check a few times how it's cooking in there, and if it's not too bubbly. It's a bit too bubbly in mine actually, so I'm just reducing a little bit the fire. You want it to have a nice simmer, okay? So just gentle bubbles, very small, slow cooking. We're in slow mode anyway, so don't